Hey everybody, in today's video, I want to show you how you can start earning monthly royalties on Amazon by publishing your own storybook just like this, using a new, incredible AI storybook generation tool on a platform that not only allows you to create your storybook in under only 10 minutes, but also lets you see exactly what type of storybooks are making the most money, and lets you see the type of storybooks that people are searching for on Amazon in the tens of thousands every single month with low competition, allowing you to place your storybook directly in front of those high converting online shoppers. And all I ask of you before I show you exactly how to set this up as an additional stream of passive income is that you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. My name's Justin, let's get into it. So I first want to show you just how much money that people are making by publishing storybooks in a highly profitable niche, just like this book, earning over $28,000 in monthly revenue from a storybook that teaches kids these sort of life lessons. This particular book is called What Should Danny Do? The Power to Choose. It teaches the importance of decision making in this sort of storybook format for kids, right? Now this particular storybook niche is extremely popular and profitable. Another example is this particular storybook over here, which teaches the importance of setting boundaries and maintaining healthy friendships, earning over $23,000 in monthly revenue. And there are a ton of these different storybooks teaching these different life lessons to kids following the same format. For example, this one is teaching the importance of kindness. Kindness is my superpower, has over 6,000 reviews. We also have another storybook right here called Positive Ninja, teaches all about mindfulness and managing negative emotions. Now, to actually create and publish a storybook, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do right now, that can actually make sales, you want to first identify a topic that actually has a high number of customers so that you have that demand, and that demand needs to be low competition. And that is where BookBolt comes in. I'll leave a link in the video description. And if you click onto where it says keyword search on the left-hand side, I'm then able to see exactly what type of books the online shoppers are searching for on Amazon. And if I type something in like books about for kids and then hit search, we can see exactly what online shoppers are searching for on Amazon. For example, kids books about space is being searched for over 1,700 times every single month. Now, keeping with the niche in this video on those life lessons for kids, which we know is extremely profitable and is the type of storybook that I'm going to show you exactly how to create and publish step by step in today's video, what you want to identify are the type of searches that match something like books about emotions for kids or books about kindness for kids. Here we can see over 1,600 searches occurring every single month. And if I click onto this A symbol over here where it says keyword search, we can see all of the related keyword search terms that online shoppers are searching for in relation to kids books about kindness, over 1,100, books for kids about kindness, over 1,050, and collectively, all of these individual searches, I can even go to the next page where you've got searches such as books about kindness for children, over 1,050, collectively make up anywhere between 10 to 20,000 searches every single month. So at this stage, it's safe to say that this particular storybook teaching the life lesson of kindness has extremely high demand. However, you want to make sure that before we go ahead and create our storybook, you want to make sure that you can actually have a realistic chance of making sales. The demand is only one end, right? You want to check the supply. How many of these storybooks are already being sold? And do we stand any chance of standing out among the competition? And in order to gauge that competition before we decide whether or not we can actually make money with this particular type of storybook, you first want to copy over any one of these keyword phrases that we know people are searching for on Amazon, such as children's books about kindness being searched for over 1,000 times on Amazon every single month. Go over to Amazon.com, paste it in double quotes and hit enter. And you want to measure the amount of those searches occurring every month against the results appearing for that exact search phrase. Now, in this particular example, children's books about kindness results in over 1,000 different listings. This is obviously a storybook with extremely high demand, but also with extremely high supply. So in this particular case, we would rule out creating a storybook pertaining to kids' books about kindness. The demand is high, but the supply is also far too high, meaning we would not stand out among the competition, and we're unlikely to make any sales whatsoever. To publish a book on Amazon that can actually make sales, you want to make sure that those Amazon search results are far lower than that monthly search volume. Ideally 10% maximum, ideally even closer to 5%. So what you want to do is to simply scroll through those different types of titles or keyword phrases that online shoppers are specifically searching for on Amazon every single month, relating to sort of life lessons. So for example, books about obedience for kids. Click onto the A right here and compare the search volume for these keyword phrases that online shoppers are searching for, such as obedience for kids every single month with a search volume of over 2,000, against the search results over on Amazon. And with only 21 results over on Amazon for that exact keyword phrase that we know people are searching for over 2,000 times every single month on Amazon, that means the search results is around 1% of that monthly search volume. So creating a storybook around this topic is definitely a viable option when it comes to standing out among the limited competition where we know a high number of online shoppers are searching for this exact keyword phrase on Amazon every single month. And I've also identified another storybook topic when it comes to kids' books about making mistakes, and if I type in any one of these keywords into Amazon, we can also see the Amazon search results is extremely low. As you can see, collectively, tens of thousands are searching for those particular storybooks every single month on Amazon, and the search results are extremely low. So at this stage, what we're going to do, step by step, is I'm going to show you exactly how to create an incredible, high-quality kids storybook on this exact topic and how to publish it on Amazon in literally only a few minutes from now. So to start doing that, what you want to do on the left-hand side is to click onto where it says BookBolt Studio. And by default, it's taken me to my most recently created project, which was for this incredible, really high-quality storybook that I literally created in under only 10 minutes. But what I'm going to do is click onto where it says Project over here and then go to where it says New Project. And you first want to select whether you want your storybook to be paperback or hardcover. I'm going to pick the first option, paperback, cover and interior. And you want to switch from low content, which is good for creating journals, planners and diaries and things like that, to AI story generator, which is BookBolt's new incredible AI feature, which we're going to be utilizing in today's video. You then want to give your book or project a name. I'm going to call it Learning from Mistakes Storybook, and the book or trim size I'm going to keep at default at 6 by 9 inches. And because I want my storybook to be of the highest quality, including color images inside it, I'm going to select premium color interior with white paper. And by keeping bleed selected and page count at 24, I'm simply going to click onto where it says create project. Now here is where things start to get really interesting. What we need to do is to answer a few simple questions or select some options that we want to use for our storybook. So for example, the storybook layout, I'm going to keep it at the illustration or picture above and the text below, language at English, and the target audience for our storybook will be kids between the ages of 5 and 7. Now, for the story template, I'm definitely going to keep this as a moral tale, since we are teaching the importance of learning from your mistakes. And you can select from the different character traits. I'm going to keep my character as someone who is curious, and the moral of this storybook is definitely self-confidence. And what I'm also going to do is to steer my storybook in the right direction by giving it a small additional prompt, such as, this is a kid's storybook that will teach the moral lesson about the importance of being resilient and learning from your mistakes. I'll hit continue, and here is where you create the character for your storybook. Now obviously in this storybook I created a dog, as you can see. I'll do that for the sake of this video, but just to show you, you can select from a human child, a magical creature, creature like a fairy or a wizard, an animal like I've done, guys. I've selected dog. There are a ton of other animals that you can choose from and a ton of other character types that you can select from as well. Now, for the sake of this video, I am going to keep it at a dog, a brown dog that is a male, let's say, with brown eyes as well. Now, for the character name, I'm going to call my dog Buddy, and I'm not going to add any additional accessories to the character. Now, with one click, I'm simply going to go to where it says generate character, and there is Buddy, the character for our storybook. And if you don't like the look of the first character that you generate, you can always click onto where it says regenerate character right here, which it's done. Looks absolutely incredible. Now, I'm going to keep the first character selected since it does look like more of a puppy, more likely to actually make mistakes, resonating more with our target audience. So once you're happy with your character, you then simply want to click onto where it says generate content. So it will first generate the text content of the storybook for you, showing you what bit of text will be displayed on which page. For example, this text right here will be displayed on page 1, this text on page 2, and so on. And you can very easily edit any of the text yourself by clicking onto where it says edit text over here. And if you're sort of unhappy with the entire story itself, you can simply click onto where it says regenerate story. Now, I really like the story that it has given us. Again, guys, this is all about learning from your mistakes, showing resilience. It's basically a story about how Buddy the dog tries to jump over a lake, slips and falls the first time, tries again a second time, makes it, showing the power of, resilience and learning from your mistakes. The story itself is much better than the way that I just explained it. But before we look at the story itself, once you are happy with it and once you have made your edits to any one of the text on any one of these pages to generate the images or the illustrations for your story, I'm going to click onto where it says all enhanced over here, and I'm then going to click onto where it says generate 24 illustrations. So those images have been generated. They're of real high quality and are exactly the type of images that belong in a storybook that can generate sales from Amazon, from those online shoppers who are searching for this exact type of storybook in the thousands. Now, I won't go through every single image. Again, guys, it's literally a storybook about how Buddy tries to jump over a brook or a lake. As you can see, he sort of misses the first time, feels defeated. An owl gives him some advice, telling him to, be resilient, try again. So he tries again, and in the end, he sort of makes it. And I'll just go right to the end, guys. These images are absolutely incredible. At the end of the night, Buddy's feeling proud. He's learnt that, being resilient does pay off, has the best sleep ever, and it's a really, really good storybook teaching the moral of what it's like to be resilient and learn from your mistakes. So before we click onto where it says continue to pages, where I'm going to show you exactly how to format your text and create your cover before publishing your storybook directly over to Amazon, just make sure that you do have a thorough check of every single page on your storybook, and just make sure that not only that you are happy with the text displayed on each page, as mentioned earlier, but also that the image displays corresponds perfectly with that text. So for example, here it says Buddy fell asleep dreaming of future adventures. Obviously, you want to make sure that it is an image of Buddy actually being asleep. So once you're happy with your illustrations and your text, you simply want to click onto where it says continue to pages. And if you're getting value from this video, guys, please do smash that like button. I really would appreciate it. And if you can, hype the video. It means the world. It really helps. What I'm now going to show you is how we can put all of this together and finish off the finishing touches of our storybook and publish it directly over to Amazon. So once you're taken over to this page, once you've clicked onto continue to pages, you simply want to click onto where it says select first 24, and again click onto where it says continue with 24 to 24 pages. Here is where you want to select the font for your storybook text. Now, one of my favorites is Bubblegum Sans. It is a free font. I'll simply search for it. There it is, Bubblegum Sans. I'll simply select it. I'll keep the text size at default, align center, text color black, and I'll simply click onto where it says submit. So our book is now laid out for us page by page. As you can see, guys, the text has been inserted with the Bubblegum Sans style. You can make any edits that you want to any one of these pages. Again, if you do have any second thoughts with regards to any one of these images, you can simply click onto the image, go over to where it says regenerate. You can very easily edit the font size, you can insert elements, and so on. Now, once you're happy with with your book, what you want to do is crucially create a book cover, which is super important, guys. Now, once you click onto cover on the first page, you will see these two pages. Now, the right side of the cover is the front page, the left side is the back page, and you'll see these sort of instructions that BookBolt has for us. Now, for the sake of this video, what I'm going to do is to click onto this icon over here to make the instructions transparent and to very easily create our book cover. The first thing I'm going to do is to click onto this icon over here, this sort of AI icon, and click onto where it says image generator. And because I want any images in our cover to match the style of the images contained in our book, I'll first click onto this drop down where it says precise by default and change it to current AI story context. And the prompt I'm going to give the AI image generator will be a clumsy looking Buddy who learned from his mistakes in lush nature. Ensure that Buddy is only shown on the right hand side of the cover. Ensure there is plenty of space left above for the book title, which I will insert. I'm going to change the aspect ratio from 1:1 square to 16:9 landscape. Again, I'm going to click onto where it says enhanced, and I'm simply going to click onto where it says generate image. And this is perfect. It matches the style of the images inside our book, plenty of space above Buddy for that title, and there's lots of blank space at the back of the book, which is crucial, so we can insert our blurb, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do. So I'm simply going to click onto where it says add to page, expand the image out so it covers the front and back cover, something like this. All right, this is absolutely perfect. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to insert some text for the blurb on the back of our book. Now to do that, on the left hand side, you'll see this sort of text icon over here. I'm going to go to where it says add multi-line text, and I'm simply going to drag this multi-line text over here very roughly and replace it with something like this, which I've also bolded and italicized. Everyone makes mistakes, even Buddy. This gentle story helps children learn that mistakes are a natural part of learning, growing, and becoming more confident. And of course, we need to insert our book title. So I'll again click onto this T symbol over here, click onto where it says add heading, vaguely drag it above Buddy's head over here, and I'm going to call my book something like Mistakes Help Me Grow, which looks absolutely incredible and very fitting for this book. Now, the font type that I used for the word mistakes is Architect's Daughter, and for Help Me Grow, I stuck with Bubblegum Sans. Now, what I might do is actually add some very simple effects to the first line of the title, which is mistakes. I'll simply click onto it, go over to where it says effects, click onto where it says, let's say, blur shadow, check blur shadow over here, and I'll simply change the color of that shadow to something like this. As you can see, it's very pronounced, so to make it somewhat less pronounced, I'll simply reduce the offset over here. All right, that looks absolutely perfect. The offset at 5. I'll click onto where it says OK. We're now ready to publish our storybook directly over to Amazon, getting visibility in front of those searching for the exact keywords, indicating that they are interested in purchasing storybooks just like this, with that search volume being in the tens of thousands every single month. So to download your storybook, I'm simply going to click onto where it says download over here, click onto where it says download current project CMYK, which is for printed books, and it will simply download that project separately into two files, one as a cover and the other for the interior pages. And to publish your book for sale right now on Amazon, you first want to go to kdp.amazon.com, which I'll leave a link to in the video description. And if you already have an Amazon account, what you can do is click onto where it says sign in to sign in with your Amazon credentials. If you don't, you can simply click onto where it says join KDP right here to create one. So once you're logged into Amazon KDP to very easily publish your book, what I'm going to do is click onto where it says create new title or series. And since we selected paperback in BookBolt, I'm going to click onto create paperback over here. So the first thing you want to specify is the language that your book is in, which we know is in English. Now for the book title, we know that is called Mistakes Help Me Grow. I'll simply enter that in. Our book does not contain a subtitle. I'll leave that blank. Our book is also not part of a series and doesn't have an edition number, so I'll leave those two blank blank as well. Now, where it says author, you simply want to enter in your name. There are no contributors to the book, it was just me, so I'll leave this blank. Now, for the description, you can use the help of Google Gemini or ChatGPT. What I actually did is went over to ChatGPT, and with the downloaded interior of my book, I simply uploaded it. And I asked ChatGPT to write me a short book description to display on Amazon KDP that summarizes what the book's about and who it's suitable for in dot points. I'll then hit enter, and it gave me this incredible description, which I've reworded somewhat, edited it, and inserted it into my description box. I'm then going to scroll down. I'm then going to click onto where it says I own the copyright and hold necessary publishing rights, and I'm then going to scroll down even further and make sure that I select no for this question right here. Now, where it says primary marketplace, this is where you expect the majority of your customers to come from. Now, I've selected Amazon.com. That's not to say that your book won't be listed across the other Amazon marketplaces as well, which it absolutely will. You then want to select the categories that you want your book to appear under in Amazon to make your book easier to find, which increases visibility and in turn can increase the amount of sales that your book can make. So I'm going to click onto where it says choose categories over here. I'm going to click onto the drop down underneath where it says category, and then click onto where it says children's books. Underneath where it says subcategory, I'm then going to click onto where it says growing up and facts of life. The next subcategory I'll click onto will be, let's say, friendship, social skills, and school life. And the third subcategory will be emotions and feelings. And of course, this book is fiction, which I will select. I'm then going to add another category as well, again clicking onto where it says children's books, but this time for the subcategory, mainly due to the character in our book, I'm going to click onto where it says animals, and then I'm going to click onto where it says dogs. And of course, the book is fiction, which I will check again. Now, we're only allowed to select 3 categories, so let's see if we can include one more again. Again, I'm going to click onto where it says children's books over here. Now, for the subcategory for this one, let's click onto where it says early learning over here, for example. I'm going to click onto where it says basic concepts. Subcategory again will be, let's just say, general fiction. I'll then click onto where it says save categories. Now that will increase our book's visibility, but to increase our book's visibility even more is by inserting those highly searched for yet low competition keywords that we identified in BookBolt, such as mistakes book for kids, with over 2,400 searches occurring for that term every single month, kids mistakes over 1,400 times, and so on. So you want to insert as many of these highly searched for low competition keywords into these keyword boxes right here. We're allowed a maximum of 7. And those keyword phrases that those online shoppers are searching for every single month, collectively in the tens of thousands on Amazon, have now been inserted. That will give our book visibility that can appear in the search results when those keyword phrases are searched for every single month from the exact type of online shopper who would specifically be interested in the exact type of book that we just created and are just about to publish. And we can also leave both of these blank right here. Our book is neither a low content book, which again, guys, is things like journals, notebooks, and planners, and it's not quite a large print book where a 16-point font size or greater is being used either. I'm going to scroll down even further where it says publication date. I'm going to click onto where it says publication date and release date are the same, and we want to release our book for sale as quickly as possible. So I'm going to leave release my book for sale now selected. I'm then going to click onto where it says save and continue. So our book needs an ISBN, which is mandatory. It's simply this code next to this barcode over here. And since our book doesn't have one by default, we can actually get a free Amazon KDP ISBN assigned to us. I'll simply click onto where it says assign ISBN. I'll then click onto where it says assign ISBN again. Now for the print options, trim size and bleed, you want to select exactly what you selected in BookBolt. Again, guys, that is premium color interior with white paper, trim size 6x9, bleed settings is definitely going to be bleed, which is important because our book has images or illustrations extending to the page's edges beyond the margin. margins, which is absolutely fine. Now, you want to select either matte or glossy. Now, I typically like to go with a matte finish, and you want to scroll down, and where it says upload manuscript, I'm going to click onto upload manuscript over here, and this is where I'm going to upload the interior of our book, the inside pages. That's been done. The file is now processing, as you can see, and rather than creating the cover within Amazon KDP itself, I'm going to select upload a cover that you already have, which is the cover that I'm going to upload that we created in BookBolt. I'll click onto where it says upload your cover file right here, and you want to leave where it says yes, my cover has a barcode unchecked, because Amazon KDP will add a barcode for us. I'm then going to scroll down even further. Now, this part is super important, guys. Where it says AI generated content, it will ask you, did you use AI tools in creating texts, images, and or translations in your book? I'm simply going to click onto where it says yes, and underneath where it says text, I'll click onto the drop down, and your selection will depend on how much manual editing you actually did to your text. So for example, if all of your text was generated with AI, which is absolutely fine, you can click onto where it says entire work with minimal or no editing, and where it says which tools did you use to create the AI generated text in your work, I can simply type in BookBolt, and I'll also type in ChatGPT, which help us write the blurb at the back of the book. Now, where it says images, I'll click onto that drop down, and I'll simply click onto where it says many AI generated images with minimal or no editing. Which tool did you use? Again, that is BookBolt. I'll then scroll down and then click onto where it says launch previewer to preview our book. Amazon KDP will then check your cover and the manuscript for any quality issues. This can take a couple of minutes, and once your book print previewer has loaded, do make sure that you take one final time to quality check everything thoroughly. This is the last time you'll be able to check your book before we actually publish it directly onto Amazon, so we can start selling our book to start earning those royalties. And once you're absolutely happy with all of the contents in your book, you simply want to click onto where it says approve right here. I'll then click onto where it says save and continue. Now, here is where we set the listing price for our book on Amazon. How much should we sell our book for? Well, before we dive into that, let's first make sure that we've clicked onto where it says all territories. We want to make sure that our book is available for sale across all Amazon marketplaces, whether that's Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk, and so on. Now, in terms of that pricing, I'm going to scroll down over here. What we can do is to list the pricing in US dollars, and that pricing will be converted across the other currencies across all the other Amazon marketplaces. Now, because we can see that when it comes to the competition, when people are searching for learning from mistakes children's books, we can see those books are selling from anywhere from sort of $9.99 up to around $13, all the way up to around $15. Now, because we are a new book, we are just publishing our book, we want to make sure that we get as many reviews as possible. The more purchases that are made, the more reviews that we will get. So I'm going to say that we price our book towards the lower end of the competition, which is around $9.99. I'll simply type in $9.99 over here, and that currency will be converted across all of the other Amazon marketplaces. I'm then going to scroll down, and what you can also do, guys, is you can actually request proof of your book. If you did want to see the book physically before listing it, you can see if there are any printing errors, if everything looks all good. I was happy with how it appeared in the print previewer. I want to publish this ASAP, and to do that right now, I'm simply going to click onto where it says publish your paperback book. Now, there will be a brief review period. It can take up to around 72 hours for your book to actually be published onto Amazon. From my experience, it does take a lot quicker. I typically get mine published within a 24-hour period, but sometimes it can be closer to those 72 hours before you can actually get your book published onto Amazon so that you can start selling it and earning those royalties. Now, in terms of when you'll actually get paid those royalties, it typically takes around 60 days after the book selling. So, for example, it is February at the time of recording this video. If you make a sale for your book in February, the royalty will typically come through at the end of April. And what I'd say to maximize the amount of royalties that you can earn with this Amazon KDP strategy using BookBolt is you first want to see what type of books are generating the most in estimated monthly revenue by using this tool, which, by the way, is available with BookBolt. It's called KDP Spy. If I go back over to BookBolt, on the left-hand side here, underneath where it says extensions, you can download the KDP Spy extension as a Chrome extension, which will allow you to see and get visibility over the monthly revenue for all different types of books on Amazon. And once you've sort of gauged which types of books are earning the most in that estimated monthly revenue, what you can then do is to further back that up by going back over to BookBolt and identifying monthly searches that online shoppers are searching for with regards to those types of books as measured by the amount of those monthly search volumes. And as you can see, guys, once you've identified that monthly search volume, and these are evergreen, by the way, guys, people are always going to be searching for these type of books, which means we can generate a passive income potentially by listing books just like this if they continue to sell month on month for months, if not years into the future. But for that to actually stand any realistic chance of actually happening, you need to make sure that you match those high monthly search volumes inversely with a low search count identified on Amazon, as we've done for this particular search phrase right here. So once all of that stacks up, you're then ready to again go into BookBolt Studio and create your book following the exact same steps that we followed in this video. Now, the more of these books that you do create and the more that you publish onto Amazon, the higher chance that you have of actually earning an increased amount of those monthly royalties. Now, in terms of getting set up with BookBolt, I'll leave a link in the video description. In terms of pricing, you can get started for as little as under $10 a month with the newbie plan with a 3-day free trial. I'm currently on the Pro plan, also offering a 3-day free trial, and the reason for that primarily is due to the increased amount of those monthly AI credits that I can get every single month. And by clicking onto my link in the video description and typing in the discount code RMS20 in all caps, you can get a 20% discount on any one of these plans for life. So Amazon KDP is definitely one of the more creative and fun ways to implement a highly effective working strategy, be that whether you want to start earning a passive income or potentially turn this into something much bigger. And by using BookBolt, we're not only able to identify unsaturated markets so we can find low competition yet highly searched for books, which we can now very easily and quickly create, but we're now able to take advantage of BookBolt's new features, allowing us to break into other markets that were not previously possible, such as the creation of those story books. And if you got value from this video, please make sure that you smash that like button, hype the video, and turn that bell notification on so that you get notified every single time that I release a new online money making video. Take care.